So music therapy is not just playing music to make people feel better. It is a much bigger process than that, right? So when someone performs, whether it's at a bar, whether it's at a friend's house, whether it's at a hospital even, right? No matter who someone is helping with a performance, a music performance is just that. It's a music performance. It might be a music performance that's benefiting someone in this way, but you still wouldn't call it music therapy, and this is why. So, music therapy targets specifically objectives. We're working specifically on goals that are going to transfer from musical goals, right, to non-musical goals that are going to help the client in their everyday life, right? We want these things to be transferred. So they're actually going to help the client, right? So maybe we're working through depression, right? Maybe we're working through anxiety, but we're using music in that way. And another big difference is that a music therapist is specifically trained to use music in the area that they work with, right? So in a bachelor's degree for music therapy, a music therapist will study for 4 years, right? So you'll study for 4 years, then you'll do a 6-month internship, and then you have to take a board exam, and then you become a music therapist, right? So there's all of these things to becoming a music therapist, right? So calling music therapy, calling performance music therapy is actually very harmful to the profession because it discredits all of this work, right? And because music therapy isn't a very recognized profession, it can be very easy to just call it music therapy, and people are like, oh yeah, that's music therapy, and then that becomes the term. But it discredits this whole field of music therapists. Now, the team of music therapists in the US and really in the world is pretty small, right? We are not that many people. I believe we're just around over 10,000 people in the US are board certified. Just a little bit over that number. Don't know the exact numbers, you'd have to look them up. And they kind of change depending on the website that you're on. But yeah, so I get it, we're small, but this is me trying to explain that music therapy is a valid profession. It is evidence-based, meaning there is research in a plethora of areas within music therapy in every single domain, whether it's social, communicative, cognitive, right? If it's physical, motor, right? Whatever it is, emotional expression, right? All of these things, there's extensive research in very, very specific and intricate topics, right? And music therapists go through some of this research to inform their decision. We study how to look at research, right? Within our degree, we are taking clinical practicums within our degree. We take 5 different clinical practicums in our degree, so that means I've had 5 different experiences within my degree program. I started in an elementary school, then I worked in a center for adolescents with autism, then I worked in a children's hospital doing gastrointestinal, and then I worked in the same children's hospital doing psychiatric care, and then right before that I worked in a cancer center and I did online telehealth sessions, right? That was during COVID. Okay, so I had that, plus I had my 6-month internship, which I actually had 2 experiences, which is not normal. My internship director actually left his job during my internship, so I started at a rehab hospital, and then I went over to my next thing, which was through his private practice. Through his private practice, I worked with kids with autism primarily. However, I got to experience a few different other clients, including an adult with a very traumatic brain injury, a severely traumatic brain injury, working on guitar. Well, we're working on guitar to help with sustained attention, right? So by learning the guitar, relearning the guitar, the client played guitar prior to his accident, right? So through that, we're working on rebuilding that sustained attention, right? Following directions, all of that through guitar playing, which is something that he was connected with prior to the accident. And we've made some good progress, right? So I really think that there's so much with music therapy. Like, there's so many different things and all of that, and I'm still not board certified. You know, I'm still not a music therapist, even with all the experiences that I have. Now, I'm taking my board exam July 9th, so wish me luck, right? Wish me luck. I'm hoping that I pass this time. This time around. So, what else? So basically, if there's one thing to take away from this video, when someone says, hey, I did music therapy, be sure to ask, are you a music therapist? Because the answer might not be yes, right? The term gets thrown around wrongly a lot, and it does bother a lot of music therapists, but I do have to remind myself, and other music therapists might also have to remind themselves, that we have a very different education of music therapy as to the general population. The general population has zero education on music therapy. So, you know, if you're even watching this video, you have more knowledge in the field of music therapy than most people. Which, yeah, like by default, like even if this is your first video on music therapy, period, like you still have more knowledge than most people. Because most people don't even know it exists, right? So I think it's really important to have these conversations. I think it's really important to be able to dive deep into what is music therapy and what is not music therapy, right? And look, performances in hospitals, like an in-service, right? Or being an artist in residence, right? All these positions are amazing positions, and I do not want to discredit them because this is amazing work. The world needs more music, and music performance in these aspects are a beautiful thing, and they are therapeutic, right? I am not trying to discredit the work, but we need to stop calling it music therapy, because it's not music therapy. It's not an individualized process to help someone achieve their non-musical goals, right? It is a serious problem, and we can fix it by education, one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. And if you found it valuable, please leave a like, subscribe for more music therapy content. I will be posting some music therapy and music educational content, as well as some music covers, just posting more on YouTube. So stay tuned for some more content, and we'll see you in the next video.